forward as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Mexico City Golden Eagles and our home team. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, look at the juke. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard.
Return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. From the gun, Lambert. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Lambert. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Lambert. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Out of the gun, Watson. And his first look is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw on second is Watson. Dancing to his left. Oh, what a move. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Richmond.
First down carry for Henry. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a second and 14. They'll try the air now with Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Muscles him off. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Third and long, it's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now first carry for Derrick Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw on 3rd down, Lambert. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big 3rd down play there for the Bengals. 47 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on second down. Lambert. And this will be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking to throw. Lambert. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. So quickly, all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a... Here's Watson now on second down. Out left side here to Bryant. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Throwing on third down, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll rifle this one deep right, and touchdown! As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On first down, it's Watson. They set up the screen for Henry. Room to run inside the 40. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And finally taken down at the 15. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Richmond.
On second down, here's Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action.
And it's caught. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lambert. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lambert runs through the contact. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And now spinning away. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Richmond! Come back! Tiger! Let's go, more. Come back! Tiger!
After the interception, here's Watson. It's caught by Bryant, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Reset! Tiger! Come back! Come back!
On 1st down, Watson steps away to his left. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Off play action. Lambert. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. That's pulled in at the 32. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Come back, come back.
The final shot before the break. Watson, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter three. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's Watson to throw on second down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. And right side, Henry's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Watson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Shakes off the sack. Oh, now he bowls him over. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Richmond. Come back.
To throw is Watson. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bryant. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Now a 1st down throw. Watson. Going up top. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll go on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Lambert firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. This quarterback now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Off the play fake. Lambert. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Back to throw. Lambert throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And the blitz does come. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key...
Back now in Columbus. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Lambert. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on 2nd down. Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Richmond. Come back. Richmond. Tiger. Hey.
Watson on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Lambert. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Off play action. Lambert. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now he's flushed out left. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now Watson to throw on 2nd down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They go play action here on 1st down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lambert being chased out left. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Lambert. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone knows to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Foreman. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Richmond.
Watson hands this to Foreman. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.